Now to our wildfire watch. Two massive fires growing in Flagstaff, burning through more than 24,000 acres with no containment in sight. Some brand new video from Central Arizona Fire and Medical. Their crew supporting hot shots with burnout operations in the pipeline fire. But mandatory evacuations lifted for some neighbors, and tonight these neighborhoods, Fernwood Estates, Hutchison Acres, Sweet Acres, and Johnson Ranch, have moved back to set evacuation status. What that means is that these families can return home, but they must stay ready in case the threat moves closer again. Our Jordan Bonke speaking with a family able to go back home.
Major relief for crews and residents today after what was described as a helpless Monday. Wind speeds significantly dying down. That allowed for air support to come help battle this blaze, and it also played a role in some of these residents able to return to their homes but still be prepared to evacuate if things get much worse. A lot of the concern from residents today was less about the fire and more about the potential for flooding on the horizon.
That's awful. It's absolutely awful.
After 3 decades in Flagstaff without ever having to evacuate his home near Doney Park for a wildfire, the pipeline and haywire fires burning on both sides of Highway 89 changed all of that, pushing Bob and his family out. They were only gone for a day, and while relieved to be back on Tuesday, that's just one worry. They're now concerned about burn scars after the Schultz fire back in 2010 led to massive flooding at his house.
Sure had a mud event, and it took out our fencing, and it did a lot of damage.
Fire management leaders telling neighbors Tuesday night it was a successful day to prevent any major spread. But some at a public meeting wanted to know less about the fire and more about flooding risk. Chris Tressler with Coconino County Public Works says the tunnel fire from 6 weeks ago and the current pipeline fire has burned through the scars left from the Schultz fire.
There is high likelihood of post-wildfire flash flooding this monsoon season.
Officials say a flooding assessment will have to wait until after these fires are contained. The county has ordered more sandbags in preparation and urges residents to buy flood insurance. And on top of all of that,
the smoke does settle into these areas and is likely to do so this evening.
Health and Human Services urging residents to close their windows to keep smoke out. Officials say it's likely to clear Wednesday morning as winds will push it away. All things to consider, Flagstaff and surrounding areas were told to expect a long-term recovery. In Coconino County, Jordan Bonke, ABC 15, Arizona.
Yeah, and as we track the flooding risk, a big concern right now about the pipeline fire is burning parts of the watershed. Officials say the watersheds that feed into the 180 area and the Rio de Flag appear to have been substantially impacted. And that comes at a time when the flash flooding threat down the nearby museum fire burn scar is also high. Hard to forget all these images from last year. Neighbors hoping to avoid a repeat this time around. Let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Amber Sullen. Some real fears right here, Amber, and that area could see storms already this week.
Yeah, chances ramping up by the end of the week, and we now have 4 major burn scars in this area, north and northeast of Flagstaff. Of course, we have this mapped out here for you because when those storms start popping, we'll be able to tell exactly where they are and if they are over these burn scar areas to be able to alert you later on this week. Of course, don't forget about that museum fire burn scar. That has led to substantial flooding over the last year when monsoon storms or any storms have really dumped a lot of rain over that burn scar and pushed it into East Flagstaff and the Sunnyside areas. This is going to be a continuing concern this year as well. For burn scars, it takes several years to recover. So we will continue monitoring this area. In the meantime,